45. It's day 5, Group A action between Team Brazil and Team El Salvador. Now Brazil are 3-0. They've already secured their first place. South Americans riding an 11-game win streak, and they'll look to extend today against El Salvador. Coming up next, it will be Canada taking on the Dominican Republic. A lot riding on that game in terms of seeding. Take a look at the standings. Brazil, like I said, already on top. In the next game, a lot of implications in that one. Today, El Salvador has already been eliminated after their 19-point loss to Argentina. I'm Kelsey Wright Johnson alongside Amy Audibert, ready to get this one going as fans make their way into the arena for the first game of the day.
Then I'm still expecting a good, at least a super intense, solid start from both teams. First of all, if you're Brazil, you know that you've clinched one, job well done. You got to still execute, do the right thing, practice habits, building toward the next round, because things certainly get tougher from then. So they'll probably start the same lineup and just very business approach. For El Salvador, you're still competing hard. You're still playing for something. As a national program, you're trying to make steps forward. You're trying to come together. And I have to say, El Salvador, while they haven't had a ton of success, they've been playing hard a couple times, and it's unfortunate that they just weren't able to grind out all the wins that they wanted to, but they were right there. And for both teams, like, wipe all that off the table. You're competing for your country in a FIBA Americas. And I'm sure both coaches have had that conversation too. This is a responsibility to represent more than yourself, and so I am expecting quite a fight off the top here.
Yeah, El Salvador, like I said, lost all 3, and as Amy alluded to, they lost a heartbreaker in their second game just by 2 points. Most recently, a 76-57 loss to Argentina just yesterday. This will be their biggest challenge, but you got nothing to lose, Amy, when you're going up against this one. You know that you're not moving on to the knockout round, and you're going up against the reigning champs. And this is the reigning champs right here, Brazil. They have been really fun to watch, averaging 72.2 points per game, almost shooting 50% from the field as a team. They got their big 2, and there's one of them there who have made their way from their WNBA seasons. And wow, the big 2, by the way, averaging 29 points, 6.5 rebounds, just them, despite limited minutes in their last game against Dominican Republic. I think we might see limited minutes again today, just a little bit of rest maybe going into the playoff rounds.
Yeah, probably one of those. Go in there, get the job done early, and then call it a day. But that's also a motivation piece. If not getting the job done early, it's going to be a longer day. But nonetheless, there's definitely expectation. I won't use the word pressure, but more expectation on Brazil in a game like this. And there are a very select few people that obviously have played on those powerhouse dynasties, and they've never been on the other side of the underdog, but I have. And I kind of like, sometimes those games are fun too. Just go out and play hard. Hit people, Lily, you know, have fun.
Respeto para el himno nacional de Brasil. fuerte aplauso para las selecciones de Brasil y El Salvador, que a continuación proceden al saludo protocolar e intercambio de regalos.
Let me just finish my thought. I didn't know the anthems were coming on. Hit people legally. Set hard screens. You know, run through your cuts, executing, all that stuff for El Salvador. To me, that's having fun, finding good shots. Finding the joys in that type of stuff is really important too.
And look, if you're El Salvador, they have a big two of their own, Amy. They've got Hillary Martinez, Kimberly Villalobos, who lead the team in every category, combining for just over 26 points a game, a little under 17 rebounds a game, and 2.7 assists. And then they had an explosive performance yesterday by Brandy Harvey-Carr with 23 points and 13 rebounds versus Argentina. We're getting a look at the referees for today's game, coming in from Puerto Rico, Mexico, and Colombia. And we talk every time, Amy, about the big stage for the players, just as big for these referees, and they've been so incredible so far in this tournament. And they're getting ready. Day 4 here, game 1.
And what an honor for them. And let's not forget, these teams have training camps. They have a little bit of time to prepare. These officials are their team too. They're jumping in full speed here.
Yeah, from all different countries around the Americas. Very cool. So there's Harvey-Carr that I was mentioning earlier. A huge explosive performance from her in that last game, and the tallest player on Team El Salvador going up against a really big team for Brazil. So she's gonna be really important today. And I know Coach Jose Santana for El Salvador will have some plays drawn up for her.
And he's fiery. I know he'll have his team ready to go. We've been watching him on the sidelines have fun all week, and this is fun. This opportunity to compete is always the best.
Take a look at the starting lineup for Team Brazil. No surprises here. I called them the two bigs, or the big two, Camila and Damaris there, but Bella Nascimento, Marcelino, and Gonzalo, really strong play from them this tournament.
Yeah, this Brazilian team has looked very connected, more consistently than a lot of teams, and all that credit to head coach Pokey Chapman, who I think she's done an excellent job. I mean, no surprise, she's coached at every level, successful at every level. Still not easy to get these teams together, camps, and go out there and compete in FIBA Americas.
We are about 1 minute away from tip-off here in Santiago, Chile. This is the last day of group play here at the FIBA Women's AmeriCup, as you see the countdown there presented by TISO. But tomorrow will be an off day for everybody here, including us, Amy. And then we start the knockout round. And as I mentioned, Brazil already locked in that #1 spot in Group A. And unfortunately for El Salvador, this is going to be their last game of the tournament. And we've mentioned it in their games before, Amy. This is just their second time in an AmeriCup for the entire program, yet to get a win. But we've seen some real fight and some real improvement even in these first 4 games.
Yeah, I keep going back to that game 2 loss, 2-point loss to the Dominican Republic. They played so tough. Just at the end, the opponent, the Dominican, they just came up with a couple more plays, and that one was a little gut-wrenching for them, because you mentioned, like, that would have been their first FIBA America win. But this is about building, taking everything from that and moving forward. So they still, in that central basket, defeated Cuba, who was a traditional powerhouse. And so their program is taking steps forward. And again, one of those games, maybe you're not looking at the score as much as what you can do within, how you execute on a possession base.
One score I was looking at is the last time these two teams matched up was back in 2021 at the AmeriCup. Brazil won that one. You're not going to like this, but 118-43.
Yeah. Well, that was then.
El Salvador showing a zone to start off, which honestly I think is a pretty good call, because they're trying to limit the bigs down low, and then one of the bigs, and Damaris Donis, steps out. The 3 is good. Here's Brandy Harvey-Carr looking to set things off for El Salvador. Just off the mark. Brazil, a strong starting 5. Looking to break the zone. They try and go inside to Cordosa. And that's what we talked about, Brandy Harvey-Carr. Going to be so important offense, but and defensively for this El Salvadorian team.
Yeah, and against, in his zone especially, footwork, get your position. Wow, cut from Villalobos. Oh, she missed the layup. Those ones have to fall for you, and no defenders around the rim either.
Yeah, Villalobos, so good and so strong for this team in the blue jerseys. You see going right to left here. She's going to kick herself for that one later. She's one of the leading scorers on this team, averaging just over 11 points per game. There's Harvey Carr, goes strong, finishes with the right, or tries to finish with the right hand. Nascimento setting things up for Brazil. An early shot in the corner, no good. Tevez with the rebound. Martinez waiting for the screen from Harvey Carr. Physical, real good contact. Emily Tevez in the corner. She is ready for that pass, catch and shoot. That one's good for 3. Game's all tied up. Gonzalo inside. Tries to go up and under. Marcelino can't get it to fall, but there is going to be a foul call there. That one is going to go to number 10, Emily Tevez.
And there's the first shot of the possession. A nice kick out to Dantas, who has been excellent in terms of running the rim and collapsing defense in transition, but that time steps out. And Tevez with the answer. That's a big response. And El Salvador set a really solid screen and roll action, but the Brazilian defense was able to recover. So that's that second layer of an offense. The really good teams don't break down after that first stop in the possession, right? Just keep working the ball, and it's a nice knockdown from long range.
Marcelino splits the pair, so Brazil's up by 1. El Salvador take the lead in this possession. Brandy Harvey Carr wasn't quite ready for it, but she scoops it up. Alfaro looking to drive against a really pesky defender in Bella Nascimento. Goes up, blocked by Brazil as they head the other way. Here's Gonzalo looking inside. Cardoso to Demiris. Demiris Dantas off the glass, had a smaller Villalobos on her back.
And Villalobos with a smart decision in not taking the foul, because that was going to be an and one. Dantas had her pinned underneath the rim. Too good and too strong there.
Martinez loses her balance. Nascimento, the ball's knocked out of bounds, and Harvey Carr took a risk there with the reach, didn't get called for anything, and the ball's just knocked out. It's going to stay with Brazil. Just 3 seconds off the possession there, as Nascimento is so quick up the court. Still 21 on the clock for Brazil.
That's a great pick because it just slows the ball down, allows you to get your defense set.
Nascimento has it up top, pulls up from the free throw line. That one's good for her. El Salvador looking to answer. Villalobos up top. Going to break down. Dantas comes off the screen. Inside to Harvey Carr. Knocked away by Cardoso, excuse me.
You got to let Harvey Carr get pinned and establish position.
A steal from El Salvador. Emily Tevez, a transition 3, no good. The bench wanted that one. Martinez saves it off the legs of Bella Nascimento. It's going to come back to El Salvador.
And as much as El Salvador, they should be able to find some good looks in transition with those opportunities. When they're forced to, like in this situation in half court, this is where you want to be very intentional about hitting your screens, creating advantages, and making smart decisions when you're attacking the rim.
And there's one of those screens. You got a lot of contact there. Hillary Martinez up and under the scoop. Cardoso had a piece of that, but it's still able to get through for El Salvador, as they're only down 3 now. Cardoso with the answer on the other end.
That's muscle memory. Post players and workouts, sprint to the rim, get position, and it's a quick finish. Nice feet inside from Cardoso.
Alfaro. Couple crossovers out to Tevez. She's had the hot hand. Tevez thought it had the shooter's roll there. Just bounces off the rim. Nascimento wide open from 3. Can't get it to fall. Offensive rebound, Brazil. And it's scooped in there by Vittorio Marcelino. Brazil out to a quick 12-5 start. There, Martinez, the leading scorer for El Salvador. Rejects the screen, tries again, that same move. Different result. Doesn't get this one to go, but she will be rewarded with a trip to the free throw line.
And when you talk about Brazil and things to clean up in this game, that's a perfect example, because to me that there's some defensive communication there. And Cardoso was waiting to send that ball back, right? And so there's got to be some sort of communication piece there, so Gonzalo doesn't take the foul. If you get beat off that first step, peel if your big is behind you, and especially your big who's an excellent rim protector and shot blocker, has a huge size advantage. And so when you move forward into these competitions are going to get tougher, and those small details absolutely matter. And so that's it's an important game for both teams here.
Dantes looking to feed the big inside. Gonzalo picks up her dribble. Now Dantes has it back. Backing up Villalobos. The step back, little Kobe shot. That one a little strong. And El Salvador putting an end to that defensive possession as they come back toward their bucket. Alfaro rejects the screen. Tevez now drives baseline. Extra kick out. And there's a foul called down low on Brazil, who are doing a good job of packing the paint. It just seems like they're a little bit behind on their rotations. Let's take another look at this. Tevez scoops through, draws 3 defenders, and she's fouled there on the baseline. They're going to get it back.
It's a great way to stabilize possessions. Just see if you can draw some contact, and this is where you use your size being the smaller one maybe as an advantage. You get underneath defenders. Martinez there, so good at scooping it kind of underneath the defenders. That time got caught underneath the rim. Marcelino misses that one to the left. Villalobos tries to thread the needle there. Brazil all over the ball, and Dantes cleans that one up. And that's a risk you run, making passes, quick passes in transition. If they get picked off, they're going back the other way just as quickly.
Villalobos to Martinez in the corner. 10 seconds on the clock. Martinez turns the corner, back to Villalobos. She likes that shot. And Brazil all over that defensive rebound. Dantes up top. Back to Nascimento. Nascimento is a shooter, and she's showing just that. What a shot. Nascimento already 5 points in today's game. 7 points for Damiris Dantes as she leads all scorers. Going into the timeout, and we have a chance to eavesdrop on the timeout from El Salvador. Let's head over and give the mic to Jose Santana.
Si las dejamos postear, estamos muertas. No van a poder con ella. Hay que salir por delante. Hay que defender el corte por delante. No hay que dejarla. Hay que anticiparse en defensa para salir por delante. Hombre, después ellas hacen llegando. Sale. Y esta es Damaris. Y lo que hace es bloquear para que Damaris salga a tirar. Hay que anticiparse también. ¿Entendiste? Ella llegando, sale y después está bloqueada para que esta salga a tirar. Y lo que hay es que no ganen la posición cuando bloquean aquí por delante, hay que salir por delante solo. Y después las exteriores, que no me planten un tiro en la cara. Que penetren. Vamos, venga.
There's that really nice transition bucket the other way for Brazil. They've done a super job early on finding balance in their offense. Some really just calm, composed, poised half-court sets, taking open good looks when they're presented, but then also pushing when the opportunity arises. It's always a sign of a great team as you get a look at Dantes, who has, in my opinion, been one of the top players here this week. She's averaging 18, 8, 1 assist through pool play, but just the eye test, the composure, the way that she's led this team with her voice, but then also just by example.
For sure, and those 18 points are coming at 46% field goal percentage, so just really efficient too. And you see her on defense here, she's always talking, always communicating to her teammates, and a lot of that communication will lead to turnovers like this.
Danta's 32 years old and in her 10th season with the WNBA, playing for with the Indiana FIBA.
Who just won a Commissioner's Cup
last night. I wonder how that works. I'll have to ask her.
Another W player here, Camila Cardoso. Took a lot of contact there from Brandy Harvey-Carr down low. She's gonna go to the line.
Yeah, Harvey-Carr has to really be careful about not, when you get stuck in those positions, just breaking verticality and going for too many of those little pump fakes, so gets caught out of position and saying she's got smacked in the face. But there's a foul. Without Harvey-Carr out there, El Salvador just simply doesn't have any size at all inside. Villalobos is a nice athlete, but she's not necessarily that big bodied that's gonna be able to body up with Cardoso.
Yeah, Cardoso stands at 6'7". And size does not matter when it comes to Hillary Martinez, not scared of anything. That's her 5th take of the night. Second one, or the morning, second one goes in, and Bella Nascimento, the second 3 already. When I said that she is a shooter, she can get real hot from 3, and she's feeling it early in this one. El Salvador looks to respond. Escobar trying to break down the defender, pushes her way through. Harvey-Carr now. Drives east to west, decides on the pull-up. That one's good.
And really smart in terms of fading away a little bit, creating a bit of airspace so that Cardoso couldn't get to the ball, because she's going to go for those blocks inside.
Defense there by Hillary Martinez. It's a kick ball though, so we'll get a reset shot clock to 14. In for the first time today. Stina Silver, she'll check into the game for Brazil, and for El Salvador, they welcome Fatima Alves into the game. Martins to Nascimento. Nascimento sees no one in front of her. Wanted to dish it out to Silva there, but no one stepped up, eventually fouled by Alves.
Yeah, Silva set a really nice down screen on the weak side, and Nascimento with the curl, and just smart, beautiful feet. All those, when you're using screens, especially without the ball in your hands, all those little things matter so much. And if you watch the weak side action, it was brilliant and left to a really nice curl where El Salvador has to take the foul at that point, let her go, or hope it's just not an and one.
Bella Nascimento, 10 points already. She leads all scorers now for both teams, having quite the quarter here for Team Brazil, as El Salvador now looking to respond. Harvey-Carr trying to get the ball down low to the center for El Salvador, just can't hold off a bigger, stronger Cardoso. Here's Silva up top now to Martins. Martins drives left, goes up. Off the mark, El Salvador down with it. They're in transition now. Tevez doesn't have the numbers. Dishes to Villalobos. Villalobos breaking down. De Oliveira has a good look at the rim, just can't get it to go. De Oliveira, a quick 3 in transition. Tevez now to Martinez. Martinez slowing things down. Tevez up top, quick 3 of her own. Long rebound goes to Nascimento, and she pushes it ahead to De Oliveira. De Oliveira tries to get it into Cardoso. Brandy Harvey-Carr with the steal. She's going in transition. Over to Villalobos. The mid-range, no good. Cardoso kicks it out, or tips it out, excuse me, but tips it to El Salvador. Martinez once again. Off the screen, in the corner, pulls up for the 3, no good.
Brazil got a little lucky there. El Salvador had about 3 pretty solid opportunities to cut into this lead here.
Great hands by Villalobos, knocks it out of the hands of Thaina Silva. And there's a few substitutions coming in now for El Salvador.
El Salvador's playing tough. They're sticking with it. A lot of little hustle plays. But now with Harvey Carr checking off the court, checking out, she's got to, because she's going to get tired and pick up that second foul. It's a smart substitution. But look at the size advantage inside.
Yeah, I mean, they subbed Villalobos out too, so two of their biggest players are subbed out as Thaina puts that one back in, and Coach Santana for El Salvador not happy with the effort from his team right there, just not putting a body and getting the box out. It forces it, or it's not a timeout, excuse me. It's the end of the first quarter. Brazil leads the way 24-10. Leading all scorers, Bella Nascimento. And look, Brazil, like I mentioned, shooting almost 50% from the field in this tournament alone, 60% here from the 2-point range in this one. We'll take a look at some of the plays from the first quarter.
That's great ball movement. First possession of the game, the paint touch kick out 3 to Dantas, and then in transition, that was a big answer, and that was a nice one. It was almost that, everyone take a deep breath, we're here to compete, but Brazil's size inside early has gotten a little bit to El Salvador. You're kind of expecting that. That finish was absolutely incredible. That was about half a millimeter away from going the other way.
Bella Nascimento has been raining threes. Dantas, of course. The threes of her own, and hey, Emily Tavas said, if we're having a 3-point contest, right, I gotta have my name mentioned.
Yeah, and El Salvador's 1 for 5 from long range. That was the one right there. If they're gonna push their way back into it, it's a 14-point game. First couple minutes here, right? But you imagine you're probably gonna have to hit some threes. With the lineup, if El Salvador comes out with the lineup that they just left with, I would be shocked if they're drawing up anything to finish inside. They might try to attack paint. They might try to collapse defense a little bit. But also Brazil going a little smaller without Cardoso in the game. But now you see Dantas doing what Dantas does, which is that extension of the coach on the floor, and she's going to shift into that 5 position.
I hope you had a chance to scan that QR code at the bottom of the screen. If not, head over to your app store and you can download the Courtside 1891 app, where you can watch live streams, extended highlights, and stay up to date with the world of international basketball, including the rest of this FIBA Women's AmeriCup tournament here in Santiago, Chile. It's only going to get more exciting from here as we get into the knockout round. Here's Tevez for El Salvador, looking to kick things off in this second quarter. We saw Coach Jose Santana for El Salvador have some passion. I want to see how El Salvador responds to kick off this second quarter. Martins for Brazil, finds Nascimento off the screen. She pulls up, could it be a 3? She's been hot from there. That one, a little cooled off, she'll have another chance. But it is cleaned up by De Oliveira on the left-hand side, excuse me.
Yeah, when you look at the second chance opportunities, it's not 6-7 in there. And so this is where, if you're El Salvador, you can't use that as an excuse now. Those are players, they're big and strong, but you're capable of getting a body on them, especially when they're flying in from the perimeter.
El Salvador, 5 on the clock. Tevez up top. She pulls up from deep. Brazil now into Dantas. Dantas against 2. There's the size advantage right there as they bring 2 to her. And Dantas just so strong and so poised. You said it, muscle memory. It's just...
And often when you're defending a rim runner, you probably best to meet her a little bit early so you can at least get some kind of position or try to on them.
Brazil coming back down the floor. Another chance to feed Dantas. This time, she doesn't go to the rim. She goes for the jumper, and that's going to be a foul on number 7, Liliana Alvarado.
Alvarado did a nice job of actually meeting her earlier that time, but bailed her out. That time, nobody met her, and that's just a little too late. But on the one we're just seeing now, there was contact closer to the elbow, but then staying with it and just staying low to contest. And it's tough. Again, Danta's 10-year pro. I mean, she's a great basketball player, and so you can only do so much because experience isn't tangible, but maybe one of the most important things, especially when you're playing at the international level, high commodity to have experience.
El Salvador has brought Brandy Harvey-Carr back into the game. You're going to hear this name a lot because of how important she's going to be for this team, especially going up against two of the best bigs in the world. Here's El Salvador now. Hillary Martinez, so crafty, so good at getting to the hoop, just hasn't been able to finish at a high percentage so far in this game. Here's Gonzalo, sees the lane. Hillary Martinez with the denial.
I love watching Martinez compete. Now, I've been watching her even in this one, getting on her teammates for making little mistakes sometimes. She's here to compete and play hard. Missed the layup on one end, gets up. She was down in the stanchion, got up, sprinted to reject that ball.
Yeah, and look, she's averaging over 37 minutes per game in this tournament. So a leader on the floor for this El Salvadorian team for sure. Ferreira checks into the game right off the bat. She's got a three, that one off the mark, and it's Hillary Martinez with the rebound. Charges down the court, Tevez to Alvarado, no good. Brazil dominant on the boards so far in this one. Now they're looking to feed inside. De Oliveira off the backboard. That's going to be another foul on Liliana Alvarado. Oh, excuse me.
I'm not sure if that was on the rebound. That's a tough one because if it was on the rebound, Dominguez had excellent inside position. So I'm assuming that wasn't on the rebound because she was getting pinned inside. He wasn't pushing.
Brazil drives down low. That one no good. Dantas tips it out to herself, but Brandy Harvey-Carr steals it from her. Now it's Martinez in the open court. Around the defender, goes up, no good, but Tevez down with it. Kicks out Rivas. There's a big three for Adriana Rivas.
What a hustle. Rivas did an excellent job backpedaling and getting her feet set on the pass.
A strong move there by Ferreira for Brazil. Swiped away by Emily Tevez, but she's called for the foul. Has got a little bit too much hand-on-hand contact there as you take a look at Rivas's first bucket of the evening.
A great hustle and effort inside from Dominguez to get the ball. I mean, fighting for the rebound through a lot of traffic, but then does a really nice, quick, tough pass on the perimeter.
Ferreira now at the line.
Oh, Ferreira had an interesting college career. Played at JUCO in Arizona, 2 years at Baylor. Last season, played at Oregon State. Looks like she's going to return there for the Beavers, and so that's some really high-level programs.
El Salvador just can't keep their hands on it in that possession. It's Dantas going full head of steam downhill. Off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound for Brazil. Now Gonzalo from the three. What a shot from Gonzalo to open it up for Brazil.
Somehow Harvey-Carr got stuck on the perimeter instead of at the rim to help with the rebound there. And that's, if you're El Salvador, you hope that doesn't happen too many times.
Brazil steals the ball there. I know you didn't have a view of that, but Marcelino kind of chucked it up just after the whistle, just for funsies, but it banks off and goes in.
It's for the people.
The crowd liked it.
Yeah. This crowd's been awesome. the morning games, and not even with Chile, the host teams playing. These teams have had family and friends, it looks like, probably traveling, but then also just locals. This country loves basketball, and you get the sense that they really understand that this is some high-level hoops for some high-level players in the FIBA Americas.
Yeah, and what an honor to watch Brazil. I mean, not every day you get to see the reigning champs in a program that's just so strong. You know, here at this level, but further on, you see WNBA talent that you obviously, of course, wouldn't be able to see every day. And it is the highest level basketball we got here, as there's a timeout called on the floor. One of my favorite parts of this is going into the timeout. So let's head in and give the mic now to Coach Jose Santana.
No puede salir de la primera acción, dar un mal pase, la segunda acción que te quiten el balón de las manos. Después no se vayan quejando si no juego. Si las que salen del banquillo no suman, se van al banquillo y no juegan más. Y después no vayan llorando que no juego, es que el entrenador no me pone. Si no suman, al banquillo. Vamos a zona. 2, 3, ojo a la tiradora. Pero vamos a intentar evitar la sangría que nos están haciendo de los horarios. ¿Vale? Llegando a los tiros que meten, ¿vale? Ok, en ataque. Jugar mano, jugar abierto, ¿vale? Jugar. Por ejemplo, Elisa ha salido muy bien para tirar, pero si le damos una mierda pase es complicado que pueda tirar. A nuestras tiradoras hay que darle un buen balón para que puedan salir con la mentalidad de tirar, ¿vale? Tenemos la pelota, tenemos que cuidar la pelota.
Go ahead and download that Courtside 1891 app. You can watch live streams. You can get all the highlights and stay up to date with the world of all international basketball, including this game here, the next 3 games, and then, of course, the knockout round begins. It's going to get exciting, and that's the place you can get it all. Brazil is going to take the foul shot. That foul happened, of course, before the timeout was called.
Aline Mora at the free throw line there. Played in a pre-qualifying tournament in Rwanda last summer and had a really nice showing, 9 points, 8 rebounds.
Rivas picks up her dribble, gets it to Martinez. Martinez, the heart and soul of this team, kicks it out to Harvey Carr. Harvey Carr, the open look from the elbow. Great ball movement there for El Salvador, leads to the 2.
And on the make, El Salvador setting up in a zone.
Yeah, smart decision. Try and pack the paint as you have the 6'7" Cardoso. Cardoso has 2 blue jerseys around her on that rebound. Does such a good job, though, Amy, at keeping the ball high. And
smart offense, because that high post pass pulls Cardoso up, and there's absolutely no rebounders, or excuse me, Brandy Carr up, and there's no rebounders now down low.
Rivas sees the bigger defender in front of her, decides to pull up, just a bit short. Marcelino to Cardoso. They swing the ball back to Marcelino. Tries to kick it out to Ferreira. It's knocked out of bounds by El Salvador. It'll stay with Brazil. Just 10 seconds now on the clock. Ferreira dishes out. Martinez gets a hand on it. Gonzalo comes down with it. Now Marcelino into Cardoso. Cardoso so lethal down there, so skilled.
Yeah, again, the back line of the zone, if you don't have a body on her at almost all times, she finds ways to break free. And that's, I mean, against the zone, you can't just assign someone necessarily, but with that size disadvantage for El Salvador, they just get beat on one quick step in the back line.
Brazil comes down with the steal. Marcelino to Cardoso, and Cardoso puts in the 9th points, the 8th and 9th points in the key for Brazil.
Oh, you better. When she's running the rim hard like that, wide open, you got to deal with her if you don't give her the ball. And I say her, but I mean most post players. Give them the ball when they're running that hard with no defense.
There we go, a big triple by Elisa Dominguez. That's her first bucket of the night, and the bench goes wild for El Salvador. Cardoso, great ball movement, finds a cutting Marcelino, and that one's good. They are just really carving the zone defense there with their ball movement, their passes.
Yeah, Cardoso can see over the entire thing at her size. It's just nice, smart pivot, and saw the backside cut.
Martinez off the screen, back to Harvey Carr. Harvey Carr, top of the three. Didn't hit anything on that one, but a couple substitutions now in for both teams as we're approaching the 3-minute mark in the first half. Get some fresh legs for both squads.
That's the paint touch. The driving and attacking, and where Martinez has been so good at trying to get into the rim and finish. I love the decision with the paint packed and a lot of white jerseys standing there. Rhythm shot on the perimeter for her teammate.
Cardoso fed inside once again. This time it doesn't go. Villalobos gets a hand on it. It's Harvey Carr and McDowell on the floor. Villalobos comes up with it for El Salvador. It's a 3-on-3 situation. Villalobos likes her odds. She goes up with the and one. That foul is gonna go to Manu Alves. Only played one game so far in this tournament. A really skilled player in her own, but just shows how deep Brazil is. And Villalobos, so aggressive. This is where the whole play started here, Amy, with the
hustle and the effort. And the two bigs. Shout out to them for getting down on the floor, but watch Villalobos at her size, 6'2" frame. She's got a bounce to her that is very hard to defend and guard if you can't match it. And she's strong downhill with a big finish, completes a three-point play.
Herrera. Her defender goes under the screen, finds the opening, no good. Martinez, so quick. Dishes out, that one's good. I like the two-man game between Martinez and Harvey Carr right now.
Harvey Carr, excellent decision to space. Pull Cardoso from the rim, and that's why right there, because around the rim. Good luck on either side of the ball. So good with her body and positioning.
El Salvador waiting for their fifth. Martinez off the screen. Like I said, that's her move. Left hand, right hand, doesn't matter. She scoops it in, and so good at threading through the defenders to find the opening and kiss it off the glass. Here's Isla McDowell. McDowell drives real strong. Protects the ball, can't get it to fall, but she'll go to the line now for the first time this morning.
Nice strong attack there, and eyes on the prize. She's gonna have a tremendous career at South Carolina, playing for Dawn Staley. Just turned 18 years old in February. You want to talk about, and I don't even like saying the word ceiling, because there's, for any player,
no such thing.
There's no such thing for any player. If you want to put ceilings on players, I hope they prove you wrong every time. But just talk about the potential of where this young woman can go with her game. Really, really exciting. Had an excellent career at Cypress Springs in Texas. Huge big-time recruit, ranked number 15 by ESPN. So write the name down is what I'm saying. Isla McDowell, saw her first year at the FIBA Americas.
I mean, yeah, she's the first signee of Dawn Staley's 2025-26 class, and I think that says a lot about her coming from one of the legends. Hey, a legend in herself, Camila Cardoso, just having herself a feast today.
Also, former Gamecock, right? Win a national championship, and Cardoso, I believe, started at Syracuse and transferred over there. And maybe Coach Staley's called Camila and said, "Hey, coach her up a little for me, or at least let her know what's coming." Some intense practices, but big results.
Martinez dishes to Harvey Carr. Harvey Carr back to Tevez. Tevez off the screen, drives baseline, looks for her teammates. Villalobos re-drives, pulls it back out, tries to get it up. It's blocked by Martins. Martins now trying to push the pace for Brazil. McDowell just slips through her hands. Cardoso, like you said, coaching her up there, saying, it's okay, let's get back on D.
Catch with 2. Got really excited for that layup. Go grab that ball with 2.
El Salvador under a minute of play. Tevez to Dominguez. Dominguez, that's the shot she liked before. Tevez goes for the board. Cardoso scoops it up and keeps it high. Here's Martins. Alves to Ferreira. Ferreira drives baseline. So athletic, and there's Alves with the rebound. She's got 2 on her. Swiped away. Dominguez comes up with it, but it's stolen now. A little bit of scramble there. And it's knocked out of bounds. It's Martinez who tries to save it. She steps out of bounds. A whole lot of scrambling there. No one can get it done, and now Brazil has a chance to settle in and set something up.
And Martinez, I think, looking at her teammate Dominguez, kind of going, come on, because she turned the ball over. Look at the blood there. And just hustle. Cardoso, maybe when she dove on the floor. Yeah, it's only a matter of time. Hey, production truck, quiet. It's only a matter of time before the officials see that.
It's knocked out of bounds once again. I think Cardoso cut her finger in like the first or second game here, and that's just been giving her trouble ever since. Not physically, just the blood aspect. But here's Martinez now, driving full steam ahead. They got to get it off. Dominguez puts it up. The team wanted that one. It doesn't fall, and at the end of the first half, Brazil leads the way 48-25 over El Salvador. As you see,
competitors compete is what you're saying.
Yeah, you can't turn that off.
Hey, I think I got hit down there. Hey, show her your knee. But you love that. Like, players, it doesn't matter what the score is. Like, they want their work and their hustle. They're always pleading their cases, and that's why the officials have the toughest job in the gym.
They absolutely do. Brazil lights out from everywhere on the court.
And unfortunately for El Salvador, this could be a closer game here. Just a couple missed opportunities, a couple careless turnovers, maybe a little flustered, but you still appreciate the way that they run and really hustling on certain possessions.
El Salvador has got 10 turnovers, to your point, already in this one, and Brazil able to score 10 points off of those turnovers. But for El Salvador, Hillary Martinez has been so solid.
And you'd expect her to be. She's been with the senior team since 2012. As we take a look at some of the best looks here from the second quarter, Brazil did a really nice job just in the first as well, I would say, of balancing that offense off. That was such a beautiful block and hustle. That was off a missed Martinez layup, and I love that she got down on the other end and contested right at the rim. Leadership by example at its best. Harvey Carr with the jumper, and anytime you're on the perimeter and Cardoso is sitting down by the rim, you got to take those. And speaking of Cardoso at the rim, there's 2 looks, 4 points, just like that for her. Yeah, another one. I love club posts. I'll wait in line all day to get in there.
Yeah, Cardoso leads all scorers right now. She's got 12 points going into the half. Both Bela Nascimento and Damiris Dantas with 10 each. So we're seeing a lot of Brazil right now on these highlights, but they've just been knocking it down from everywhere.
Yep, and this is why this game is so important for them too, Kelsey. You got to feel confident and good advancing on out of pool play.
Yeah, like we said, this is the last game of pool play for both these teams. We head in to the halftime, and we'll see you after a quick break.
This isn't a moment. It's a time unlike any before.
It's not a request, not a maybe, not a someday.
This is now. Feel our presence, built on strength
and drive. Not rising, we are arriving. Not hoping, but owning.
This is isn't a moment, it's movement. Constant, relentless.
Every cut, every pass, every shot.
Earned. Taken. Undeniable. The future, it's already here.
Forged in sweat, ruled by queens. When we move, the whole game shifts.
And we're unstoppable in all directions. We own the game.
Back inside, Dantes watched by Batista. One-on-one action, Dantes fading away. Pure. Dantes at the nail, being hounded by Field, puts it up and in. Lopez got it off in time, banks it in.
Martinez, quick first step. Off the screen, 2 on the clock. Puts it up from 3. And right at the buzzer of the shot clock. What a shot.
It's Lopez to Valentina Lopez. She's blocked by Ojeda. What a rejection. And Hawkins again colliding. And Hawkins smiling, thinking that Jones took a liberty there. But Eaton for 3 at the horn. Gigantes, good up fake. Gigantes, oh, what a rejection by Ramos, excuse me.
And that's her second of the night.
And on the other end, stops and pops. That's a difficult shot. Elise, good find. Oh, Cardoso says no. What a rejection. Killer Cam.
4 seconds to go for the Lobos. Got to put it up. Find some space. Goes up. That one's good. And Mungo charged with the foul on that. Villalobos, what a way to kick off the 4th quarter. The bucket for Argentina to push the lead.
That is unbelievable. These guys will be legends in their own countries, but also in the international basketball world.
Welcome back into Santiago, Chile, the FIBA Women's AmeriCup. It's day 4. It's the last day of group play. We'll take a look at some of our top plays from Hillary Martinez here on Team El Salvador. Yes. 7 points for her already today, and she is doing it all on the offensive end. Such fire, but also on the defensive end. We saw that big block from her earlier, and what I like about her, Amy, is just 1, her fire, her spark, but 2, her ability to get to the hoop, especially at her size.
Yeah, and no surprise that she is their top scorer. You kind of thought coming into this that she was going to be like regardless of what the score would be, she would come in as a leader. She's a veteran, experienced, understands these opportunities and how important they are. But this is every time she catches the ball, making a nice little read. That's such a gutsy play because she had the pull-up jumper on the pick and roll action, and she decided to take Cardoso to the rim anyways and comes up with the 2 points. I think you're okay always getting behind your leaders like that when they play with this much passion, and I expect, but also like selfishly hope she's out there for most of the second half because she makes the game fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, she's averaging 37 minutes a game, so I think we will have a few more minutes to see her. And again, it's been a pleasure watching Kamilla Cardoso here. She leads the way with 12 points. And again, maybe not quite the same words I'm going to say, doing it from everywhere. She can do it from everywhere, but she has been so dominant in the key in this one, and again on the offense and defensive end. But we're taking a look at some of her offense here. She is just so skilled.
Yeah, so she's got 12 points. Brazil has 28 paint points. All her points have come in the paint, so she's gotten a good percentage of the paint points. You see why, but had the 9 rebounds and 3 assists and 3 steals. So you're seeing her dive on the court. I mean, there's a lot of extra effort. She's not just going through the motions and floating around. She's showing up and playing. And again, you expect these from these women, but you also just applaud and appreciate it. It's an awesome honor to represent your country, and Cardoso is playing like she knows it.
And let me add a few more numbers while we're talking about Cardoso here. I mentioned that coming into this game, she was averaging a field goal percentage of 57%. Today, with those 12 points, with those 9 rebounds, shooting 75% from the field. She just is so efficient with her scoring.
Yes, and so young post players watching, if she's out there a lot in the second half, I would suggest, number one, watching her in terms of getting her position in her feet, proactive work, but also guards watching. Your guards have to throw some really solid passes to you when your feet are kind of already in a position to be established. And so her teammates do a really nice job of getting her the ball in her sweet spots and where she wants it. So just nice connection. It was going to clearly be an advantage in this game. Clearly part of their game plan, so job well executed. Probably might not be so easy against some other teams, and that'll be a test for them, but certainly in this one, job well done today.
And now there is a couple more games that we got going on today. This is the first, Brazil and El Salvador. Next up is Group B action. It'll be the USA taking on Mexico. Right after that, it's back to Group A, Canada and the Dominican Republic, with a lot on the line in that one. Seeding between those two teams still up for grabs. As we know, Brazil has already punched their ticket into the first round, and El Salvador, this is going to be their last game of the tournament here after going 0-3 to kick it off. And then the last game of the day will be Puerto Rico taking on the host Chile. And it gets so loud and so exciting in here every time Chile plays. They played in the last game yesterday, and that was a really fun one to watch. So make sure you're tuning in, and you can do that wherever you're watching, however you're watching. Make your life easier. Take these games with you. You can download the Courtside 1891 app. You can get these live streams. You can get all the highlights and stay up to date with the world of international basketball all year long as we watch the teams get back out here and get ready to get going once again. Brazil, like we said, has been so dominant in this tournament, has not lost a game. In fact, they're winning a lot of their games by a significant margin, averaging 72, almost 73 points per game. And they've won those 3 games by an average of 19 points, with, of course, Canada giving them the most pushback in their 9-point win. But they've looked solid, and they've looked like they've had a ton of chemistry, Amy, a team that has experience with each other, but also just a ton of international experience, a lot of college experience, and then you're looking at a pro right here in Kamilla Cardoso.
And reigning FIBA America champs, there's a little bit of that too, right? And the mindset to defend that title from day one, clearly there. I thought, especially yesterday in that game against Canada, that was going to be one of the marquee matchups, just in terms of deciding, because the other thing is you want to get out number 1 in your pool because of cross-matching and who you're potentially playing on the other side eventually, right? And It is what it is. You're trying to avoid the USA until the final game, probably, right? I mean, everyone knows it. And so Brazil actually winning that game will have pushed them into that position there. But I thought yesterday in that game against Canada, when it mattered most, they looked so poised and professional and really just came up with key stops at key moments.
El Salvador, as we've mentioned, just their second ever time in an AmeriCup, and what a bright star in Hillary Martinez as you see her warming up with her team, averaging 15 points per game, 6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, playing nearly the entire game, averaging over 37 minutes per game, only 40 minutes here in these FIBA games. So it's been so fun watching her and watching El Salvador. They're gonna go home, you know, with no movement into the group play, but they had just a heartbreaker in one of their games. They had another close game just yesterday, and you see them getting better and better. This is a program, this is a country that you're going to see a lot of in the future.
Jose Santana taking the reins of that program has been instrumental in the last 2 years in terms of just trying to elevate that country to new heights, and it's small steps and a little bit at a time as we go take a listen to Coach Pokey.
For me, defense, transition, share the basketball, power in the paint, move the basketball, have some fun doing it. First 3 minutes, it's 0-0 right now. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. 0-0.
I love going into these timeouts, Amy, because Brazil is up 48-25 to start the first half. Coach Pokey says, look, it is 0-0. I want the same intensity as we had to start this game. But you know what else she said? Have some fun.
Yeah, we've heard her say that a couple times this past week, and I love that. It's true. We should be having some fun being out there.
You know what is fun? This app.
It's
the
so
Courtside 1891 app. Scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen. You can watch these games, you can get highlights, you can get so much more. I've got it on my phone, Amy's got it on hers.
Listen, it's so fun. I have it on my personal phone, my work phone, and I have the account on my laptop too. Because ball don't stop. And my mom, actually, I believe, got the app. So we are downloading users one at a time.
Be like Amy's mom. Grab the app for us.
Get the app. You can watch these games for free. It's awesome all around the world.
There you go, and that is the response you want from El Salvador. We heard Coach Pokey for Brazil say 0-0, but same mentality for El Salvador going into this one. They're down big, but never too late to go on a run, see what you got in you. You got nothing to lose.
It's just that one possession at a time type mentality for El Salvador.
Villalobos. The second half of the big two that I've dubbed for El Salvador with her and Martinez. Here's Tevez from deep. It's short. And it's going to go out of bounds, Brazil ball.
But Tevez actually got a decent look in terms of just between two defenders, probably a little bit, about a step behind where she would have liked it, but a little breakdown at the end there for Brazil.
Nascimento. That was, yeah, as she says, that was my bad. She just took a dribble and bounced it a little too hard. It bounced out of her hands. El Salvador now has gone 2 possessions, 2 stops on the defensive end. Now if they can string together some scores on the other end, they look for Tevez. Tevez drives through traffic. The hustle's there for Martinez as she gets it back. 3 seconds on the shot clock, gotta do something. Drives, puts it up, no good. A rebound for Villalobos over Dantes, and she pulls it back out to reset. Harvey Carr drives, loses it, gets on the ground again, just kind of.
I just lost control there. I thought she was actually going to get into a handoff action with her guard, but elected to keep the ball, and I think it threw her off, threw me off a little bit, maybe threw her off a little bit, I'm not sure, but it's the attack mentality that you do appreciate.
Another miscommunication there from Brazil. And that's 3 possessions now. El Salvador has been able to force a turnover for Brazil. So we talk about stringing together some stops and some scores. They've been able to do the stops part 3 times in a row now to start this third quarter. And there's another stop. This time it's for Brazil. As they get going in transition, that's an easy bucket for Vittoria Marcelina.
Complete focus on the ball there. Villalobos looked like she caught it with almost one hand, and defender went with 2.
Nascimento kicks it out. No pushback this time from El Salvador. They're going to live with that fast break bucket, but they're going to go back. Well, coach isn't going to live with it. We saw him there with his hands on his hips, but they're going to go back to their offensive end now. Alves turns the corner. Doesn't have numbers, brings it back out. Villalobos looking to create. Off the screen. Great ball handling from her. She kicks it out to Tevez. Tevez, a shooter, it's a long 2.
And Dantes just took 2 hands and slapped her head with it. I know I should have been there. Marcelino was playing excellent defense, but what a hit from Tevez. More of those, please.
Tevez, you might get your wish, Amy. She drives in the open court, pulls up from 3. That would have been a highlight.
I thought she was gonna pull it for sure.
Gonzalo, Dantes, swings to Nascimento. Back to Marcelino. Gonzalo uses the screen. Brazil's clock winding down. They feed Dantes inside, double team, step back. And Harvey Carr, excuse me, with the rebound. Now here's Martinez. They're gonna look to feed it inside now. Villalobos, a little bit of a mismatch for her down low. She can't get it to fall.
I'd like to see her attack Gonzalo with her size advantage.
Nascimento, she was hot in the first quarter from 3, nails another one to bring her to 13 points. Martinez over to, well, Martinez gets it right back, actually. A little bit of scramble offense there, but she makes the most of it with a big 3, bringing her total to 10 points. Here's Camila Cardoso, goes strong. The foul is gonna go to Brandy Harvey Carr, but looked like Cardoso didn't love a lot of the miscommunication happening on offense for Brazil. She said, you know what, I'll do this myself.
Yeah, rip and go to the rim, and I like that she chose that too when that opportunity presents itself for her. And on that possession, it certainly did, because there was not a lot of space underneath, so she had the whole paint to kind of operate. But that, when you are playing that center position, oftentimes you feel like you've had the foot speed, show up. Right? Rip and go, quick decision, quick reaction.
Cardoso nails the first. Now, like we talk a lot about her percentages from the field, shooting so high, but same goes for the free throw line, just a pro from everywhere. When she gets the opportunity, she makes the most of it for sure. Now here's El Salvador looking for an opportunity of their own. Martinez with the ball. She drives, dishes to Harvey Carr. Out to Alvarado, off the mark. Brazil cleans it up from the defensive side. They're going full head of steam. Damiris Dantes with the big 3-pointer to make it a 30-point lead. And Dantes now the second all-time leading scorer in AmeriCup history. I mean, the stat has been being tracked since 2003. And look at that, we see history right here, Amy.
And there's your answer from Harvey Carr. Nice catch and shoot from the free throw line.
Cardoso Skips to Nascimento. Can she do it? 2 in a row. She is hot from the 3. Nascimento is a shooter. And so you got to know your personnel a little bit when you're El Salvador on the defensive end. Martinez drives against the 2 bigs. No good. Hustling back on defense now. Marcelino over to Dantes. Can she? She acts like Nascimento herself. She's got 2 threes now in the quarter.
And right from that 45 too. It looks casual. And I'd say that in a compliment, the way she just kind of catch and lets it, but that's muscle memory. That's a whole thousands and thousands of those reps over her career.
Harvey Carr, an air ball on that one, and Marcelino scoops it out of the air. They look to feed it inside now, gets it back to Nascimento. She drives, a one-on-one with her. Marcelino, what a box out. Can't put it in the first time, goes after it the second. No pushback there from El Salvador. She puts it in.
And you would expect to see Brazil to continue to start running through some sets and using this as an opportunity to, I call it, sharpening your axe and preparing for the next steps here in this tournament. And so generating shots, feeding the hot hand, and a nice jumper there again, Harvey Carr.
Yeah, Harvey Carr, like I said, had a standout performance in her last game. 23 points, 13 rebounds. A ton of experience for her playing pro all over the world. As Damiris Dantes shows us what a pro she is. 3 threes in this quarter alone. Like I said, the second all-time leading scorer in the AmeriCup.
That's exactly what we were just talking about. Gonzalo called the horns down, and so that means you saw the up screen from Cardoso, and then turned around to the down screen to fill up, to free up Dantes on a pop-up 3. So the execution is maybe just as important as the finish there.
En defensa estamos bien blanditas. En defensa estamos bien blanditas. O sea, lo que pasa es que lo que no pueden hacer es defender 2 y 3 tocarse las narices. Hay que ser agresivo hasta 5. Las 5, si se van por falta, se van. Pero están tirando cómoda. Ya lleva 3 triples, salgo y le hago falta. No llego a puntearle tiro y me la cago en la cara. En ataque jugamos mano, ¿vale? Mano, tiro y llegando.
There's the jumper from Brandy Harvey Carr. She's been having really great performances here, and like I was saying, has played all over the world. Belgium, China, El Salvador, Finland, Lebanon, Poland, Sweden, Turkey. It goes on and on and on. A really great addition to this El Salvadorian squad.
I hope people like that collect something, you know, from all the places. Like I would,
like a magnet, or like,
I'm not promoting anything, but I do collect shot glasses. I love it. I have this shot glass, and so anytime I visit, but I mean, those are some serious countries. Mine are more states, to be honest. I've got shot glasses all over.
I was waiting for this matchup because I had a fun fact about Brandy Harvey Carr as we get going here to end the third quarter, but here's Emily Teves out to Martinez. Martinez from 3. No good. But what I was going to say is she actually has a sister named Brazil.
Oh, Brazil Harvey Carr.
There you go.
Good. If she was playing in this game, that may be confusing.
There we go. As Brazil tries to get it inside. It's no one else, but of course, Hillary Martinez gets a hand on it.
See, I thought you would have been talking about her sister.
Brazil Harvey Carr. Yeah, fun fact for everyone at home.
Well, they're both B's, too.
Yeah, all of them actually are. She has a couple siblings. She has Bria, Brazil, Bryce, and Brooke. And then Brandy, but then one brother, Ronald Jr.
Okay, your fun facts are getting more fun. Keep them coming. I live for that stuff. This is what makes the world go round.
There you go. All the B's. El Salvador on the offensive. Teves to Alfaro. Alfaro showing some patience, likes her shot, and I don't blame her. What a pull-up from Alfaro from 3. Brazil looking for the answer.
And you can hear the volume and the defensive communication from El Salvador.
They are locked down right now. Mora, no good. They get a second opportunity now. De Oliveira from the corner, just off the mark. No one boxes out Catarina Ferreira.
These are like where these where you learn your lessons, because you play so well on defense, but then just can't, like, the possession's not over until you finish it with a defensive rebound or a steal the other way, and almost there, but you got to finish possessions.
Yeah, 23 seconds of really good defense we saw there from El Salvador. See if they can do it again. Martins, the open look. Yeah, you can't leave Martins open. Sasa Martins, another one of those lethal shooters on Brazil. 76-37. El Salvador looking to make a bit of a splash. Martinez, the left-handed scoop, doesn't fall, and the big bodies of Brazil bring that one off the board. And here's Martins now over to De Oliveira in the corner. Silva, the big 3.
She's got that too. That release pocket, that's tough to contest. High and off to the side. Defensive Player of the Year in Slovenia back in 2024 can hit a 3 as well. 3 and D right there.
Martinez scoops up another one, and we talk about her ability to get to the glass, and that's exactly what we saw right there as we head into the 4th quarter. 79-39, a 40-point lead Brazil has over El Salvador. We've seen some fight from El Salvador going up against the reigning champs.
I mean, their mission and their head coach, he's last couple years preaching teamwork, he's preaching tactical discipline and trying to get young talent to mix in with his more veteran players. And so you've got 1 quarter left in this FIBA America tournament to do that. And so I anticipate them capitalizing on it. We just heard the intensity on the defensive end from El Salvador. You want to keep that for 10 more minutes. And now it becomes less about that score of 79-39, but more about that, what are we trying to accomplish here? But let's look back at that 3rd quarter. Some pretty nice ball movement at times from El Salvador, but Brazil really got hot from long range. They hit a couple unanswered triples and went on a run from the 3-point line. It's a beautiful skip pass, and right to the weak side 45 is such a good cut, but right into the pocket of a shooter. Another one right into the pocket of the shooter. Catch and release there, Dantas.
Yeah, Nascimento and Dantas, each 3 threes of their own in that quarter. But Martinez, she has no quit, a 3 of her own. She ends the quarter with a strong take to the hoop. And I like the way she wills her team forward on the offensive and defensive ends.
And now you're seeing a little bit of a younger, or just players that we haven't seen quite as much for Brazil, and coaches coaching them up. Not about the score for both teams right now. Building, taking steps forward. That's what the 10 minutes is about.
I like that Coach Jose Santana for El Salvador is putting the starters right back out there. And this is, again, like we said, a 40-point lead right now, but the last chance that they're going to play in the FIBA AmeriCups here. And you want to give them that opportunity to finish this one out and show the world what they're about.
Right. This is building towards the future. The hope is that many of these young women will be representing El Salvador again, and so let's get better.
Tevez. It's the look you want, definitely, from one of your best shooters on the team. Just can't get that one to go through the hoop. There's Mora down low, and she makes it look easy getting it through the hoop. Martinez, full steam ahead. Vasquez, up top to Martinez. Martinez showing patience, pulls up. just rimmed out. We don't see a lot of her mid-range game because she's so good at getting to the hoop, but what a decision there. And it almost, the shooter's rule almost works in her favor as Brazil looks to put some points on the board on their end. Martins loses control there, and Hillary Martinez right there to kind of scoop it away. Harvey Carr almost had the steal on that one, just half a step behind, not able to get her hand on it. And there's a couple substitutions now for Brazil. They bring in two of their young guns, in Isla McDowell and Manu Alves, two young players who are starting their NCAA college career in this upcoming season. Here's Alves. Didn't have a lot of time on the clock there, but she's able to get a look, no good. And there's Tavez, and Isla McDowell just kind of stepped on her heels there.
Harvey Carr with two big stops on the defensive end. Really, her hands all over that possession. But look at the push, and McDowell trying to make a play in transition, but that's tough to do against those smaller players.
Dinah Silva went for the steal there. And there's Brandy Harvey Carr off the glass. What a finish for El Salvador. Ferreira stuck on top, looking for her teammates. There's Alves going against Harvey Carr. What a spin move.
Oh, yeah. The University of Illinois said, make sure you pack that in the bag. That'll fit into the freshman dorm just fine. I mean, she anticipated that spin on her catch. I could tell you right now, watching her eyes in real time, she set that up textbook style.
Villalobos up top, going up against Silva. Saw the shot clock winding down, threw one up off the backboard. Here's Brazil in transition. Ferreira, drive, spin, what footwork off the back rim, but got the open look. And here's Martinez now in the open court. Drives one-on-one, it's knocked away, it's gonna be out of bounds. Martinez had possession when both of them fell out of bounds, so it's gonna go back towards Brazil.
Martin's also getting the reps at that point guard position too, and with different players out on the court, that's important too.
Manu Alves trying to show us she's got more in that bag she's trying to pack for the University of Illinois. Here she is in the mid-range. Off the mark. There's Tevez with the rebound. Martinez up top to Harvey Carr. Harvey Carr scoops it in, no good. Silva's been wanting to play with some speed. Now she has the opportunity. High off the glass. Tevez down with the rebound. Kicks it over, she gets it right back. One-on-one, goes up. Martins charged with the foul. That's a hard foul, and Tevez on the ground. I think she wanted to finish that one, but she will go to the line now for two shots. Get another look at this.
And that's
a nice little give and go.
Yeah, it started from the push, but Tevez did a really nice job of cutting in at the right moment. Stayed a little bit wide, and then you put that defender in Martins kind of on an island and out of position to really make a play. It's a strong take. You know you're going to get hammered, and you're kind of just bracing for impact at that point.
Let's take a look at Tevez's career. She played at two different D2s in the United States, Notre Dame de Namur and Cal State LA. Last time she was at AmeriCup, 2021 AmeriCup, she averaged 9 points and just under 5 rebounds per game. She also was part of that team for El Salvador that competed at the 2024 Centro Basket Women's Championship, where she scored 14 points a game and shot a whopping 43% from the field. 81% from the free throw line, as you see her knock down some free throws there for El Salvador to bring their total to 42. Here's McDowell. She drives and dishes. Ferreira takes an extra second to grab that possession, but glad she did, because what a move as she slices the defense to get through and kisses it off the glass. It's Tevez once again. Up to Martinez. Martinez uses that screen. Loses possession just a little bit. Now it's back up to Harvey Carr. It's just to Tevez. Tevez got to do something with it. Puts it up, no good. Bailed out there. Foul is going to be on Manuela Alves. It'll send Tevez back to the line for 2. He's on the other end. I really like this. Takes a second, takes a quick breath. Watch the footwork here, Amy.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Slices through, and it was a tough play because the defender, Dominguez, didn't get caught in that. She didn't suck it down. She stayed, which ball side drive, stayed on the perimeter in that stunt stay type of position. But it didn't matter. Still had the first step. And listen, with that length from Ferreira, I mean, it's a tough first step to recover if she can match your foot speed.
Tevez misses that one. She's got 6 points tonight to go along with 9 rebounds and 2 assists. Martins pulls it back for Brazil. Off the screen, stopped by Harvey Carr. Now Ferreira forced to pass it over to Alves. Now 3 seconds on the shot clock. Martins from deep, it's short. Now there's a fight for possession down low, and that's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow will stay with Brazil.
Another example here of a chance for Brazil to execute something, to work something. Find a good shot, that's a huge check. Finishing it, yeah, you want to finish shots too, obviously, but at this point, find a good one. Look at that. That's a good one. That's a great one.
There we go, Isla McDowell. We've been talking a lot about her headed into South Carolina. The newest Gamecock for Dawn Staley, and I mean, that's what Dawn Staley, I'm sure she's at home smiling watching that one.
Yeah, you talk about being a 3-level scorer. And at her size, it's a special type of player in the women's game right now.
McDowell tries to go back-to-back. A pretty hard foul there, as I think Tevez might have rolled her ankle. She got a lot of air trying to get that block there on McDowell.
It's first and foremost just nice to see both players get up. Nice down screen, weak side, executed well, but feet coming up on that angle. Catch and shoot. It's a strong contest. What a hard hit for McDowell.
Yeah, McDowell kind of landed on Tevez's ankle there, and I don't know if you saw this, Amy, but she walks towards her bench, just kind of getting out of the way from the free throws, and you see Coach Santana ask her if she wants to come out, and she shook her head no. She wants to finish this game out for El Salvador.
Speaks a lot about what these games mean to these players.
McDowell, good from the foul line. She's got 5 points on the evening. It's early. It's the morning. Brandy Harvey Carr off glass, no good. Add a rebound to the stat line of Isla McDowell. Pulls it back out. Martins looking to set back up. She calls out the play. Waits for her teammates now, and they feed down low. Thaina Silva can't get it to fall. Thaina Silva, the offensive rebounding guru, grabs 2 right there in that possession to give Brazil another opportunity. Clock reset to 14, winding down. Just 5 on the clock. Martins stripped. There's going to be a push there called on El Salvador.
And just 3.4 seconds left on the shot clock. Martin's just trying to make something out of nothing there. He's rewarded with the attack.
Yeah, Coach Jose Santana is going to call the timeout there, I think, after watching the 2 fouls where Tevez kind of rolls her ankle a little bit and Hillary Martinez kind of gets a hit in the face. He's going to just let his team
recalibrate, recalibrate, and finish this last 4 minutes and 31 seconds off. And these players don't want to come out. They want to play hard. It is not about the score.
Some bright spots now for El Salvador. They've got 11 assists, 5 steals. That big block by Hillary Martinez. As you see, Martinez leading in 2 of the categories for Brazil in both points and assists. You see her locked in, and that's what I really love about Hillary Martinez. Even right now, 89-42 is the score, and you can see her absolutely locked in. We see it on the offensive end and the defensive end. Amy, it's interesting to see this third level for her.
Yes, and just the challenge of having to step in and be that leader. But you also mentioned that they have 11 assists in El Salvador through their first 3 games, averaging 8 assists. And so they're already well over that. And to me, I mean, Brazil's defense is tough. It's tough because they're just a very good connected team. But then I would say when you look at the individual players, they're big, they're strong. Like even their guards, they're tough to beat. They're present on catches. They'll muscle you on your attacks. And so 11 assists, you're getting that ball popping around, and it's not an easy task against this Brazilian team.
Martins at the line for Brazil. Misses the second, splits the pair. That's 4 points for Sasa Martins in this final game of group play here between Brazil and El Salvador. Isla McDowell falls into that steal. Nice crossover. She tries to get to the hoop. Kicks it out. Catarina Ferreira rolls out. Offensive rebound by Alves. Alves looking to make something happen. Scoops it around. Kind of surprised Harvey Carr on the weak side there, and it's Ferreira now. Makes her way to the hoop. That one is good, plus the foul.
I'm still just, that first pass in transition from McDowell was gorgeous. I'm not sure if this is going to be it here. Oh, look at the handle and the cross. But then when the help came over there, she pivoted. She had it was about 3 defenders she attracted, and it turned into a weak side corner 45-3. And if she has that skill set, her South Carolina teammates are going to like her a lot very quick. I mean, the ability at her size to handle, but then make those type of reads and passes, she'll get you some shots.
Brandy Harvey Carr showing some patience down low, and the answer and one for El Salvador. Brandy Harvey Carr, what a finish for her. She's got 14 points. As we look at Ferreira there, that was her and one.
Yeah, and a beautiful pass. No look off the deck to a cutting player. I've seen some incredible passes in this tournament so far.
Substitution now. Martinez gets a hug for her coach as she heads to the bench to a standing ovation, and what a performance she's had in this tournament. She ends this one with 12 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. And she really is just the heartbeat of this El Salvadorian team, and she should be so proud of her performance here in the tournament. Oh, she's crying, so I'm gonna cry.
I love how she also just keeps her team so accountable. 28 years old, so you'd hope that she'd get a couple more years. Some of these really small, quick guards, we have a 39, a 38-year-old, so for El Salvador, they're probably saying, please keep yourself in great shape and want to come to play, because she's an excellent leader. And when you look at El Salvador and where they are in their program, in their federation, building toward the future, you need those players on the court.
Yeah, well, look, she's represented El Salvador since 2012. She's averaged double digits in 7 out of the 8 tournaments
it's
that
incredible.
She's played in.
Yeah.
And hey, the one that she didn't average double digits was her first tournament. So ever since then,
quick learner.
Yeah. Go to the other end as Dominguez goes to the line for El Salvador. Something I like about her, when we're going into these tournaments, I'm looking up their stats and everything. I also take a look at their social media. One thing that Dominguez has in her Instagram bio is the Mamba mentality hashtag.
Oh, you love that. There's always one of those on a team. There's always at least one Mamba mentality player on a team. And they're usually proud of it too.
As they should be.
Yeah.
She's played with the team 12 events, 5 of those with the senior team, and she was part of that 2024 Central Basket Women's Championship squad. So El Salvador picks up the foul, and it'll send Isla McDowell to the line.
There's a jumper there from Harvey Carr, but that goes back, McDowell goes back to that 3-level scorer, so we've seen her hit the 3. By the way, great footwork, weak side pop-up. We see her attack hard at the rim, and now that little mid-range post turnaround jumper through a foul is very close to an N1. That's really hard to do on jump shots, especially when they're turnaround jumpers. And defensively as well, versatility to guard multiple positions.
McDowell has 7 points now in her second game here, playing for Team Brazil. Here's Escobar for El Salvador. Nice handles there. She finds space, creates space, excuse me, doesn't find that. She created that with the defender, just couldn't get the shot quite far enough. I think fatigue plays a little bit of a role, you know, this late in the game and this late in the tournament. Here's Silva to McDowell, over to Alves. Alves to McDowell. Defense by El Salvador. There's going to be a foul call there on El Salvador as they throw it out of bounds, and Harvey Carr now going to make her exit from the game. That's the last time we'll see her representing El Salvador here in Santiago, Chile. She gets a standing ovation and hugs from the coaching staff.
Yeah, she was going to have to bring her maximum effort in this matchup, and especially in the first half when Cardoso and Dantas were in the game a lot more, and she certainly held her own.
Yeah, she ends today's game with 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Oh, excuse me, that was four fouls. But hey, the fouls were, look at the people she was going up against. Like they're all good fouls.
Yeah. And that would have been very easy for her to get in early foul trouble too. So smart gameplay, offensive rebound putback for Alves.
Under 2.5 to go in this game. Ball movement by El Salvador, gets a wide open Dominguez up 3. That's who you want taking your threes, a sharp shooter. Now Brazil comes back to their end, and they're gonna look to feed the youngins inside. Nice kick out. Freshman to freshman on that one, and McDowell goes for her own rebound. Really swipes it away from Rivas there. I like the hustle from Isla McDowell. It's gonna go back El Salvador's way as we're under 2 minutes now left to go.
I like the hustle, but you want more. You want to generate as many scoring opportunities as it's fun. It's fun to score. Yes, I don't know. I did like defense. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I know everyone likes to score. There's something about defense.
No, I'm with you. I was 3 and D, so I like the defense too. And you know what? Defense can lead to offense, just like that fast break for Sasa Martins. El Salvador, another chance on the offensive end. Here's Rivas. A huge block by Thaina Silva. Leads to the fast break for Catarina Ferreira. She hits the deck. She'll go to the line for 2. And that all started, Amy, with Thaina Silva. She is so athletic. She wants to play so fast all the time. And then you see the block right here. She's got vertical.
Yeah, I mean, that's textbook. You're just sitting there waiting. Almost looks like a volleyball attack. Catarina, mentioning before, playing for Scott Ruick at Oregon State. She MVP of the conference tournament for the Beavers. She averaged 18 and 9, so really, I'm sure, thrilled to have her back, and which is always a touchy thing with college basketball in the USA right now, is that portal is changing the game. So to get your best players returning, I think that's always fun, good. Makes you feel good.
There's Silva over to McDowell. Into Alves, under a minute to go. Alves, drop step on the left-hand side. She wanted the and one on that one, staring down the ref a bit, but she's able to finish it strong.
Well, she used her right hand on the left side, and sometimes I think officials are like, well, if you put it in your left, it probably would have called it.
El Salvador. Could be one of their last offensive possessions here in Santiago. Escobar off the glass for 3. About a 4-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock, so Brazil has one more chance here on offense.
That wouldn't be the worst way. The final offensive possession right there.
McDowell kicks it out to Thyna Silva. Silva from 3 of her own. And I wanted to mention this just because I talked about creeping Instagrams, and her Instagram is all about her daughter, so cute. And I know she's watching Mom, either from here or from home, and what a way to end her last game of group play here in Brazil for Thyna Silva.
Yeah, with the setup from McDowell, another one, just so much young star power there for the Brazilian team, and we've seen it out on the court today. So for them, just you go well-executed day, wake up, handle your business. And by the way, I did not mention this, they were pumped. I was mistaken for the arena DJ. About an hour before tip-off, I was asked by a team representative to change the music and make it more pumped up. And unfortunately, I just couldn't do that for them. I guess it's these cool headsets, but
must be.
But the music was changed eventually. The volume was higher, and this Brazilian team was pumped up and ready to go.
Team Brazil wins this one 106-49. Going into this one, they already stamped the first place standing here in Group A.
I really enjoyed, I want to make this point, that I really enjoyed watching this El Salvador team compete during this tournament. I felt for them when they dropped that game. Listen, you don't win the game, you don't win the game, but they played so hard for really so close to winning their first FIBA America tournament game, and I've really enjoyed their hustle and heart, and want to thank that team because again, they've made these games, the ones that they've been playing, really fun to watch, at least for me.
Agreed. I've loved watching all 4 of their games, and although this is just their second AmeriCup appearance, I know we'll be seeing a lot from that program in the future.
And the selfies. Has life changed? There was no selfies when I was at college.
There's Camila Cardoso. A lot of these young fans, we're seeing a lot of young women. A chance to see some WNBA stars,
and young boys too. That's what I love about it. This place has been packed with so many young kids. Camila, get in there. You got another important picture to take. Throw that W up. It was a win. It was a great win for your team. I love that though.
Brazil heads into the off day tomorrow, as we don't know who they play yet first in the knockout round, but they'll be ready. Let's take a look at some of the plays to finish out both teams' final game in the group play.
Yeah, the fourth quarter, I thought was really, it was entertaining. It was competitive, but also just for Brazil, we got a really good look at some of those younger players that we haven't consistently seen. And so when you talk about the depth of this Brazilian team, I mean, to me, Isla McDowell stole the show just in terms of her passing ability and really displaying her skill set that, again, we just hadn't been able to see so much of at this international level yet here with the senior team this week. Lovely pass. So this core group of these younger players, second or third unit here for Brazil, got to work, and it was fun to watch.
Yeah, Brazil ends that fourth quarter scoring 27 points. So when Pokey Chapman looked up and said, hey, it's 0-0, let's keep competing, they didn't put the brakes on in that fourth quarter, and you got to see, you mentioned McDowell, the young talent, also Manu Alves, who we just saw there, another young piece to this Brazilian team. So fun to watch in this one, and we mentioned it, El Salvador.
Here it is. That's how the offense ends for El Salvador. We'll take it. And that's how it's going to end for Brazil. Another one. Whew. Two really nice long-range setups.
I mean, that's the way to do it, right? Right to the buzzer, both these teams with big threes to put exclamation points on their games. That's going to end it for this one. 106-49, Brazil over El Salvador. Coming up later today. Next up, there's USA taking on Mexico to start off the Group B play. Of course, Canada taking on Dominican Republic to finish off Group A. That'll determine seeding, and then finally wrapping it up for day 4 here is Puerto Rico taking on Chile. We mentioned it, Brazil takes that #1 spot in Group A. Have not lost so far in this one as they finish up their pool play here against El Salvador. Lots more action to come. Make sure you download the Courtside 1891 app. For myself, Kelsey Wright-Johnson, and Amy Audibert, thank you for tuning in, and make sure you're tuned in for the rest of the day. Finishing up group play here in Santiago.